We live on a planet covered in water and earth, descended by a dominant species known to man and apes, surrounded by different kinds of life forms. And one of those life forms is Joshua Wasserman. We follow Josh's story because it is ongoing and very inspirational. Josh's origin traces back to when he was 2 years old. When Josh was 2 years old, he was diagnosed with a benign cancerous brain tumor. There are all different kinds of brain tumors, but his specific brain tumor was called an ependymoma. After he was cancer-free, he had to undergo some treatment with radiation and chemotherapy in Boston at the Children's Hospital. Through the tough times and for support, Josh's mom and dad were his biggest cheerleaders because they kept him moving forward and not backwards.
Hi, my name is Louisa Wasserman.
And my name is David Wasserman.
I'm Joshua's mom.
And I'm his father. So, Josh had a number of challenges after his cancer treatment. He had challenges both physically, medically, as well as educationally. Because of what Josh went through, he had developed a condition called epilepsy, which required, some significant medication and managing of those medications. Physically, he needed both physical therapy, speech therapy, as well as occupational therapy as well. Then, in addition to that, educationally, he needed to be supported in a manner that would, that required additional help from the teachers and administrators in order to ensure that his educational needs were being managed so that he can learn in an environment that was conducive of a child that had experienced some of the brain injuries that he had endured.
So Josh came to us freshman year, and I think he had a lot of questions, a little bit of confusion in terms of working the technology in video production equipment, and he really has adapted incredibly well. He's just done a really, really good job. One thing that Josh always has possessed is a great sense of humor and a great way about him. And I can't speak highly enough about those attributes of Josh. But I think, at the start, he was tentative in terms of working the equipment and maybe a bit confused about the projects that were at hand and the assignments that I was introducing to him. And over time, I think he's really gained a lot of comfort, and he's able to set up his own equipment. He owns his own camera. He owns a T6i. He has a tripod. He can set up and work the technology. He's done a lot of work with me out in the field during field shoots for DTV, and he's done an admirable job in terms of doing that. So he's really, really good overall, and great-natured, great guy overall, and just can't say enough nice things about Josh Wasserman, who we also refer to affectionately as Coffee Beans.
So I remember Josh as a freshman when he was just starting here and really had no knowledge about any of the areas of audio and video and working in the radio station or many of the different things he's done since he's been here. But he became fully involved in everything, worked in the radio station in his first year. I had him in audio class. He's been involved in not only the radio station, but Dean TV. He's grown very well in all aspects here. He's been interested in both audio and video, and I've seen his involvement in both those areas.
Okay. I would say that from the time you were a freshman to the time, now that you're getting ready to step out on your own, your entire personality has changed. You came from a very shy, somewhat reluctant, reticent student, because I know that you've had some things that you've had to overcome in your life, and largely you've turned into a student that basically has mainstreamed himself into just kind of one of the guys. I know that's the way that the guys on the sports broadcast team have handled you and assigned you accordingly. I think the one thing that you've done more than anything else is gain a sense of self-confidence that you can do these things, that there's no can't in your vocabulary anymore, and I think that's a tremendous credit to you.
Well, he was a great kid.
Yeah.
And
He was friendly.
Happy-go-lucky, always with a smile on his face, and loved life.
Yeah. And still does. I think
Yeah.
that made it a lot easier for us, in that Josh's personality is very easygoing and he manages life with a smile. But
So Josh, in my video production 2 class, did this project that was a solo project, and I can't remember the whole premise behind the project, but he had a Nerf gun, and he was playful and defending, and it just brought out his sense of humor. And that's the project really that I think was extraordinarily well done. It utilized his talents. Josh has an incredibly creative mind, and he's a good writer as well. So although he doesn't struggle at all, it may take longer to do setup on video production equipment and the editing process. He's extremely intelligent and very capable in those regards, but where I really see his real passion and his real skill set lies is in the creative process and being able to script that creative process. I think of him as a good writer. He's a very good writer.
Life is something precious. Remember that. You only live once. Let me catch you up on what's been going on in Josh's life up till now. As Joshua Wasserman grew up, he met a lot of people and made a lot of friends throughout this process of life, and had to overcome a lot of obstacles, face discrimination, and people never understood him. But he always stays strong through thick and thin. His medical history has made him stronger as a person, even though he had a lot of surgeries throughout the years. But that does not define him as a person. As Josh grew up, he was very isolated from the world because of his medical issues. So every summer, Josh would go to these 2 camps for cancer survivors, only to get a sense of security and that he had belonged to a place where they understood him better. Those amazing camps he got involved with were the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp and Camp Rising Sun. So, in high school, Josh joined the drama club because he felt like he didn't belong to a specific social group. So he was a great actor and felt like he belonged to a group of thespians. Josh looks at life in a different way. Josh believes that life is precious and that you should cherish your life.